Hi there and welcome to the Growth Execution webinar. This is the third of our Growth Execution webinars for 2021. Hope it is going really well for you. We are here every week to help you and your business to grow and to grow fast. And what we really want to focus on all the time are areas of business that perhaps get a little bit less advice, and particularly actionable or executable advice that you can kind of come on and find the things that are going to make a difference to you and to your business today. All right, so we're running through a series of questions, and it's the kind of questions we get all the time here at Growtion that are going to really help you to understand more about the kind of nuts and bolts of your business. So we are always getting asked, what price should I charge? All right, so for today, for about 15-20 minutes, we're just going to run through how you come up with your price strategy for now and over the coming months and years, and how you can either launch or, having had a review, relaunch your product or your service so that it has a consistent and coherent pricing strategy, something that people really understand, and critically, something that's going to invite people to part with their cash in far greater numbers and buy your product as a result. So let's start then with some actions. All right, we want to get straight into what it is that this pricing is all about. Now, what you can see here is our growth execution formula. And those that know the business here, we are absolutely obsessed with what makes businesses grow. There are 15 different elements that we identify and that we work through with clients and with those that we work with on how to grow your business and how to build it out fast. So they're separated into product marketing and sales. We are currently in product pricing. So it's going to be very specific and very forensic dive into what it is that can make pricing so important. So such a great lever for your business in terms of making it successful and in terms of making it grow. And we're going to start off with this action. So you've got to think first of all about a launch price or your original price. Now, if you are already in business and if you have been going for some time with a certain price point, what I'd really encourage you to do is to think like you're starting out again. Often businesses can get stuck in certain ruts, frankly, with this is how we've always charged our product, and therefore this is how we're always going to have to charge it. This is what the competition charges, and therefore this is what we're going to have to charge. So what I'm suggesting here is that you actually kind of take a step back and go, all right, just imagine that this product was first coming to market. All right, and you think about, and we'll go through in a sec, the features of this particular product. Fast forward 3 years. All right, so fast forward to a time where you are going to want to be comfortable. All right, where you are going to want to have made sure that this business has grown to the place that it needs to grow, that this product has been as successful as you need it to be, and think about how much it's costing you or how much you think it's going to cost you to produce, and then how much margin you're going to be making on each of those. Right, so if you're looking to get a 20% margin, then what the kind of cost of production is, and then add 20% on top of that. I know it's difficult. All right, what is going to be the cost of production in 3 years' time is tricky, but what you need to start doing if you're starting out or if you already have some ideas is making some assumptions. Right, very simple assumptions. As long as you know what they are, then you can always change them as you need to. If, for example, I don't know, a pandemic hits or something like that, or the vaccine works and the pandemic dissipates. So you've got some kind of known things, of course, that are coming down the track. But then, of course, there's going to be some other things that come along. But broadly speaking, what you need to have in your mind is, right, this is how much I think it's going to cost me to produce this one item. Add on whatever margin you want on top of that, perhaps it's 20%, perhaps even 30%, and then say, right, that is going to be the price that I want to charge in 3 years' time. All right, that's going to be that charge then. And from there, you work back. over the previous 2 years. So for year one, which is now and perhaps the next 12 months, discount that back by 20, 30, 40%, whatever you think is going to be really is going to really encourage your early user base or your early adopters to buy it straight off the bat. If you are already in business, then clearly you've got some guidelines to work with on that, but feel free to use this moment to look at a discount that perhaps might be deeper than you would otherwise think. All right, what we're thinking about here, what we're working on here is how do we get to that level of comfort within the next 3 years? So you have in your mind a rough idea of what it's going to cost to produce this this product or this service, and always remember that we're talking about services here just as much as we're talking about things that you can hold products. And what you then want to do is to say, right, let's discount it back by say 20% for year one, and then 10% for year two, and then get it up to full price for year three. The reason for doing it that way and having it actually as a kind of discount in the early years is because increasing prices is really hard. If you've ever actually launched a product with a price point, it is tremendously difficult to move very far from that unless you do some sort of substantial relaunch. There are obviously very good reasons for a relaunch right now. So this is the third week of January in 2021. There is still a pandemic raging. The vaccines are only just starting to roll out. So resetting your price at this point is something that is not perhaps just understandable. It might actually be encourageable because things have changed so very, very much in terms of how people consume products and no doubt how your product finds itself in the market. So relaunching is difficult. Relaunching needs a good reason. So that's why by trying to think 3 years ahead, what you're doing is you're giving yourself a really good shot at getting up to that price in the in that appropriate time frame, but B, giving people incentives to buy now. Okay, giving people incentives to use your product when perhaps nobody else is. And on that, and I've said this before, perhaps you might even want to discount more than 20%, down to 30, 40%. Whatever you think is going to enable your product to attract enough attention right off the bat. Okay, so when you've got that sort of core pricing, then you can start to be really quite smart about how you attract more people to it. So setting aside the price of that single product perhaps that you've got right now, what I want you to do as well is think about what 3 distinct versions of your product might look like. Okay, so here we have the gold, silver, and the bronze. These are very, very specific types of products and types of entity that you might want to get out there. Now, the silver one is the most important. The silver one in the middle is what your core product or service is. All right, so it's probably what you're selling right now. It is probably the thing that you have always dreamed about bringing to market. It's probably the thing that you are building as we speak. But that silver product is going to be your profit engine. Right? That is the one that you're going to see growing through these 3 years. That's going to have the maximum adoption and is going to be the one that people most frequently will know you for. Okay, and the really important thing about the silver is that it's got this profit in it. All right, you can play around with the bronze and the gold, but silver has to be profitable. Okay, it has to have enough in it that when you sell a load of these, it is going to make you some money. The reason why it's framed by a gold and a bronze package is that people in general will most frequently, rather than always, will most frequently choose a middle path. All right. In general, people don't want to be too flash, and in general, people don't want to be too cheap. So you will find, if you go to a restaurant, your kind of wine menu, then they'll put the one that makes them the most profit second down on the list, because most people choose the second bottle of wine down on the list, because nobody wants to choose the first one. And once you get much beyond there, then it can go up quite steeply in price. So make like a restaurant owner and make your silver product your most profitable, the one that is just down from the top, but not at the very bottom. So how do you then define 3 distinct products when you've only got one right now? Well, what you want to do is to take that product and find seven distinct features of that product. All right, this is the first part of this kind of trilogy. Those seven, you want to order them in terms of hierarchy of value. All right, so what do you think is going to be the most valuable feature of your product to the audience? Okay, and then as you go down, list the remaining six, and you will get down to the bottom two, which are the least valuable features of your product. Now, sometimes it's going to be quite hard, and sometimes you're kind of really struggling to think about what these different features might be, but get creative. Okay, some of them might be as simple as, a weekly email on something, or access to a website or a blog, just something that is of value, that delivers something to a customer that you can have as one of a list of different features within it. So if you've got those seven, first of all, what you then want to do is the bottom two, so the least valuable, carve those out and make them your bronze package. All right, so they are a distinct product. You may need to do just a little bit of thinking around, right, how do I actually deliver that as a separate product? But if you've done this right, then what you will find is that those two things have value on their own. So they do things for people, but they are relatively straightforwardly removed from set apart from the silver package, and they're something that you can then kind of use as an introductory offer. All right, so the bronze package is basically your cheapest version. In terms of pricing, and we're talking about pricing, your bronze package probably needs to come in at about 20% of what your silver package is. All right, 20% in price, and that obviously will scale over time as well. So think very hard about how you would carve out the bronze, what price you're going to charge it. As I say, kind of about 20% of what silver is good place to be, because it will catch more people. And then what you're going to do is look at building a gold package as well. Now, these names of these packages obviously can be completely whatever you want. They can be standard, basic, and premium. They can be, brand builder, and all sorts of different combinations. But what you want is the names to feel like steps of progress, right? You want people to feel that if they're moving from bronze to silver, they're actually going somewhere of more value, and then from silver to gold, they want to go somewhere even more valuable than that. As far as your gold package is concerned, what you want to do with that is find 3 additional features. All right, so you will have in the bronze 2 features. You will then have the silver, those 2 bronze features plus 5 more. And then in the gold, you will have those 2 bronze features plus 5 more silver ones, plus 3 exclusive gold ones. Now, gold is super fun. All right, gold should be probably about 5 times what silver is. All right, so you're going really super luxe, and you can make it pretty much whatever you want, right? If you want a concierge service, that's great. If you want a 24-hour hotline, that's great. If you want to hand deliver stuff around to their houses at the drop of a hat, that's cool as well. Whatever it is that is going to really set it apart within the confines of that extra money, while still not losing you money. It doesn't have to make you a whole lot right now, but if you can see a way to doing that, then that's obviously great too. But by simply having this gold and this bronze framing the silver, what you are doing is massively increasing the chances of people taking that silver. All right. If it is just that silver product on its own, or your product, as it's now called, on your own, on its own, then people have a binary choice. They will just go, well, yeah, I like it or I don't like it. If you give them these different tiers, what you're doing is offering them a level of control that makes them much more interested in buying from you. All right. So when they get to, they're quite interested in the silver, they might come to the site and see an advert, and then they see they've actually got a bronze and a gold option. When they choose silver, they feel like that is much more of an active choice than having any color as long as it's black. All right, so gold, silver, and bronze, really useful way of framing your core product and making that profit engine really fly off the shelves. Now, what that also does is give you some route into urgency. Now, one of the real challenges of any business, whether it's new or whether it's been around for a while, is how do you make people want to buy this product more urgently. So there are three kind of urgency makers, as I think of them. One of them is discounts, one of them is upgrades, and one of them is setup fees. So we've talked about discounts. So if you know that there is a discount for this year rather than next year, then you're likely to buy now rather than later. You've got to be careful with discounts though. Don't overuse them. If you tell somebody they're only going to get an exclusive 20% discount now, and then you offer the discount again on a continuous basis, let's call it maybe the DFS sale, for example, over in the UK, then that creates a problem because people don't take you seriously when you're talking about pricing. So discounts that are scheduled are really useful and controllable, and you know that they're only going to last for a time limited period. Free upgrades are also good. So now you've got your gold, silver, and bronze, you can actually offer upgrades for a limited period of time as well. And that will encourage people to come to the site and to buy a higher version of that product than they would otherwise immediately. All right. So it drives this urgency and makes people make decisions and act in a certain way that otherwise, without these urgency drivers, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do. And the third one is setup fees. Now, whether that's a delivery charge, whether that is a genuine setup fee where you're actually doing some activity to get the customer set up, having a setup fee is a really, really, really good, or an introductory fee, or a delivery fee is a really good way of helping people to see the value in what you're doing, but also helping to drive urgency, because you can negotiate that setup fee away. It is far less important, that one-off setup fee, than making your customer happy through an ongoing subscriber base. All right, so if you can negotiate that way for a limited time, so this month only, this week only, setup fees are free, or delivery charges are free, then that will drive urgency, and that will make people behave and buy your products much more quickly too. All right, we are hurtling through this. There's plenty more. If you want to see it anywhere on the Growth Execution Academy, come to the website, growthexecution.academy. Have a look at growtion.co. We've got loads of stuff on there as well. But I wanted to leave you with a recommendation of where you can find out some really great information about this particular topic. So how do I set my price? There's a book called Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. It's brilliant. All right, this tells you why those things that I was talking about earlier work, why having three distinct choices is better than having one, because people's minds work in the way, as in the restaurants, they don't want to be too fast, they don't want to be too cheap. They're looking for some way of demonstrating their individuality by making a choice, but actually you can guide them into the choice that you want them to make as well. And also this kind of sense of urgency, giving them something time limited that they will really act on. So have a read/listen to Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Brilliant book. Really help you when you're looking at how you might be able to set your prices. And that's pretty much it for this week. We will be back next week with another key topic that our audience, that the clients are generally asking us. Hope to see you there. Thanks very much indeed for your time this week, and we'll catch up again then. All the best. Take care.